So when the contact at my daughter's university in the United States, and at this point I'm keeping the name of the university out of it, and I'm keeping the name of the study abroad out of it, and I'm directing my attacks towards ISOS, but the study abroad company has to accept responsibility that this is who they've chosen. I went into my travel coach network, which I'm a certified travel coach, and knew that of the many women that are certified, there is another woman who works with a study abroad, and I wrote her and asked her, and she said, oh no, our company won't work with ISOS. So not all study abroads work with ISOS, which is International SOS, but International SOS tries to pretend to be an independent liaison for the benefit of the child, advocating for the child, but in reality, it's a company that if I were to do my full investigation, of which I'm quite good at doing, but it's just not a priority right now, and I don't need to get myself further upset, I bet you we'll find if it was to really be examined, it was some bunch of insurance companies came together and put them together and funded it. That would be my intellectual guess, and I know that because when I've dealt with other insurance companies, these independent agencies that seem to represent insurance companies, they're paid for and funded established by the insurance company. I wouldn't even be surprised if there's a revolving door, kind of like with the FDA and the pharmaceutical companies. I would not be surprised at all if that somewhere in the course of looking at the ISOS and you look at the employees that have worked for the insurance company or worked for the SOS, I would not be surprised that you will probably find that insurance company employees worked for them and the SOS worked for insurance companies. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So this is not an independent entity at all. It is created for and paid for. My instincts is telling me that, and I'm a Cold War researcher. So the college where my daughter attends, they were quite wonderful when I got the contact person. I wasn't overly ecstatic at all with how the dean was handling this, not at all, but the international person I was happy with. And she then jumped in and said, get the mother the ticket, because I went berserk when I found out they said I had denied it. Then I get a call from the ISOS travel agent guy who tells me that we're only allowing you to stay on the ground 3 days. That's it. You're flying in 20 hours. You're going to be there 3 days, and then we're flying you out. At this point in time, I didn't really give a shit. I just wanted to get into my daughter. She had had the surgery. The professor was with her for the first day from the study abroad program. Thank God. Professor, I made them, and they did. I said, I don't want anybody but the professor. Don't be sending somebody else from the school. You send the professor, because that was second to the host family. The host family was her first choice that she wanted to stay with her, but they couldn't. So the second would be the professor, and the professor did come, thank God, and was there beside her bed when they rolled her in, and my daughter started to have a meltdown crying. They gave her something to calm her down. I knew this was going to happen because this happened last year in Italy when she had her surgery. And then the professor slept on a mat and then slept on the bed and stayed with her until I showed up. And at that point, she had come out of the surgery and she seemed to be doing really well, but she was on a lot of pain drugs and she wasn't eating yet. She's doing well, but now she's getting very nauseous and sick. She won't eat the food. And so I run down here to the shopping mall under the hospital and I buy her food and bring it up to her. I think I'm going to have another coffee. Scusa, miss? I'm about to speak in Italian. Miss? Another. Yes. So, I then wake up in the morning in Amalfi. My driver's coming down, and I look at my paperwork. They picked a lovely, lovely hotel, but I've not been to the hotel. I asked them for a hotel that was in walking distance to the hospital. I wanted I just said I didn't really give a shit about the quality of the sleeping location, as long as it was clean and I didn't have to squat a hole to go to the bathroom, as long as you gave me a toilet seat, toilet tank type of bathroom, not a hole where you squat and crap. And it was clean and it was a safe neighborhood. Those were my 3 criteria. I would have went for the lowest standard. My one main criteria is I wanted to be able to walk back and forth. Well, where they booked me was not in walking distance, and they put me in an elaborate place, but I haven't even slept there. So 2 of the 3 nights that the school paid for was an absolute waste, because I can't command the language. I can't get into getting these drivers back and forth. I didn't have the currency. I don't have the right clothes to be out in the heat, because I was coming from where it was very cold and rainy in Amalfi, very cold with wool and stuff. So when they picked me up, thank God, the professor arranged it. I said, drop me by the hotel. I dropped off my big suitcase, which I had a small bag of toothbrush, didn't even bring clean panties. This is quite disgusting what I'm going to say, but I've been showering every day, thank God. I left the Amalfi at 9 o'clock in the morning in this shirt, the bra I have on, the panties I have on, and the pants I have on. And I don't even know what today is. There was 1 day of flying on the plane, 2 days. I've been in these clothes 3 days. So the only thing that I am doing, and the hospital's been fantastic, is they gave me a towel, and I have my little makeup bag, or it's like deodorant and shampoo and stuff. So personal hygiene bag. Every day I take a shower, wash my full body off, and put the same clothes on, because I don't have any other clothes here. And they're at the hotel, but first of all, I wasn't even sure what was happening with my daughter, because ISOS refused on the last phone call to give me any medical information. Refused. I have authorization for the information, and they refused. I can't say that enough. It's horrible what they've been doing. So on the last phone call, they said, you're fucking useless. You are fucking useless. All you're doing is blocking every transaction. You're blocking information. They're going to my daughter, and we're manipulating and country shaming in a very passive, kind of like, you know what it feels like? Because I am a CIA Cold War researcher, ISOS uses psychological warfare. They are techniques of manipulation, and I'm not kidding. You can say I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. It's psychological warfare techniques that the CIA uses. That's what the ISOS uses. They say very subtle, manipulative things. They don't tell you anything, but then they say just enough over here. Then they say, oh, we can't give you the information. You need to go directly to the doctor, because I pulled their pants down, because they didn't know what were the variables on my daughter's case. They didn't know what the variables were, yet they were denying the surgery. And they got caught with their pants down, so now they're kind of like afraid to talk to me. So, it feels, in my spy story from 1958 through 1968, in multiple countries, that's when the psyop program started, with the American government, with the CIA creating psychological warfare tactics. And I have to say, ISOS does a very subtle version to moderate version of psychological warfare. And it's not okay. I can see right through it. So that's where we're at. Okay, gonna do another one.